हम लोग एक्शन फिल्म नहीं बनाते ज़्यादा अच्छे, हम बहुत खराब एक्शन फिल्म बनाते हैं, उसको हम लोग एक्शन बोलते हैं.
आशिक बना आपने, the pressure that how I made आशिक बना आपने, I'll tell you the story behind it.
I have a massive fear of irrelevance.
Oh shit, I said shit, Kashyap didn't like the movie.
It's like after every film you get written off.
Yeah.
And people want the same old thing from you.
Same old thing.
And my thing is also, I don't want to do the same old thing.
Right.
I don't want to revisit Gangs of Wasseypur. I don't want to revisit Black Friday. I don't want to do another Gulal. I don't want to do another Ugly. I want to keep finding new. And the more I try to find new and it doesn't work, I start questioning myself. Had that film released, I think my anger would have turned into such massive arrogance. And I would have become such a nasty filmmaker. And I saw them fall down. It humbled me, seeing other people. I started writing blogs. I literally was the guy who was talking about everything that's wrong with the industry. I wrote so much against Karan Johar.
Correct.
Then I met him.
Right.
And realized this guy is so straight.
Right.
He's like me at the other spectrum. So मैं दिमाग में story लिख के जा रहा था एक bad actor के बारे में. This bad actor who's out of work and this and that करके. And I went and met John Abraham. I told him a story and John said, yeah, people already think I'm a bad actor. Why do you want me to do this film? I was doing a police station scene with my recent film.
Right.
With Bobby, and I was like, I just hope it doesn't become like Ugly. I mean, I'm so scared of success.
Right.
On the opposite side,
I'm scared.
when Devdi became a success,
Right.
I was so scared. I was like, I want to make the riskiest film of my life, and I made Yellow Boots.
The way Crack's failures made me work on Bad Cop.
I don't share script with my actors.
Yeah,
I have directed Imtiaz Ali, I have directed Karan Johar, I have directed Tigmanshu Dhulia, and there's some other people also. So guys, here I am, Anurag Kashyap. आज हम लोग बैड कॉप के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और आई वांट टू इंट्रोड्यूस यू टू, यू नो मी एज अ डायरेक्टर बट हियर आई एम जस्ट एन एक्टर. आई वांट टू इंट्रोड्यूस टू यू द डायरेक्टर ऑफ बैड कॉप, आदित्य दत्त.
Thank you, sir.
एंड सो वी हैव वन थिंग इन कॉमन, जस्ट टू लेट यू नो, हम सब जिंदगी में एक मुकाम पे भट्ट साहब के यहाँ से निकले. और
सब
हाँ, मैं भी भट्ट साहब की किताबें कैरी करता था. मैं मुझे उनके साथ काम करने का मौका नहीं मिला. उनके साथ टाइम बहुत स्पेंड किया मैंने, 1-1.5 साल करीब, और सीरीज वगैरह लिखता था. आदित्य,
I was his boy. मैं
भी वही था, किताब कैरी.
मतलब वो सुबह 5 बजे एक गाड़ी, ड्राइवर नहीं आया, तू सुबह आ जाना लेने. So I used to go in my car. Then I pick him up. But I used to get up at 4:35 a.m. He used to be in the office at 6:30. So things like that. Then everything from same thing, like you know, अभी आपने पहले बोला था कि how you tell कि मैं जा रहा हूँ अभी बाहर, तुम एक सीन काट के दिखाओ. Same Bhatt Saab used to do. So I just suddenly remembered Bhatt Saab that time.
Yeah, he mentored a lot of people.
Yeah, because the same thing when I started working with him. I think so. I was 16. मेरे को कहा कि
16.
Sir, मेरे को था कि I didn't want to study. So I went and told my father कि मेरे को कुछ भी करा, मेरे को पढ़ना नहीं है. So then he said कि luckily my grandfather was from the industry. I had the accessibility.
Let me introduce, like, not nepotism, but yeah, Anand Bakshi साहब के नाती हैं.
So he told me कि go and meet Mahesh because he was working Zakham, all the songs he had written for them. So I went to Bhatt Saab nicely with my backpack and as a summer vacation. And the first 2 months only, he told me, go to the edit, वहाँ पे एक trailer बनाना है. And I'm just looking at him saying, okay, what is a trailer? I've just come here, I'm just like roaming around behind you. He said, you know the film, you've seen the movie, उसको 2 मिनट में कैसे बोलना है वो कह के करो. So I said, okay, same thing. I went there, cut the trailer, some crap cut I must have done, I didn't even know what I was doing. He comes, he looks at it, he re-edits the whole thing. He keeps that one shot that I'd kept in the whole trailer, and he said, good. This is a good one.
This is exactly what Ram Gopal Verma did to me, by the way.
And the confidence came at that moment of time saying, मैंने कुछ तो सही किया था. So that was something which I see you also do the same thing.
And mentoring is beautiful, and Bhatt Saab has mentored a lot of people, especially by empowering them. Empowering assistants and people to become filmmakers, to become what they wanted to be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Sir.
But I met Aditya first time at my house when they were pitching Bad Cop to me. and I was very reluctant.
Yes, you.
As an actor, I was very reluctant. He was very adamant. And Leena, one of the producers, who I am very fond of, and she also brought them all along. And I was eating lunch.
मैंने लीना की जान खा ली थी, I think so. मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I was supposed, लीना को पहले मैंने बोला यार लीना, if we can get him, it'll be no one's business. So he said, okay, I've dropped him a message. फिर आप, I think so, आप busy थे कुछ 15-20 दिन, and we were closing to the shoot. You have to take a decision on Kashyap. You have to take a decision. I was like, and I was going on calling Leena. I was like, Leena, did he reply? Where is he? What is happening? So she's going to ring me, Adi, let's keep a backup. He's not replying. I don't know what. He's busy or something. I said, oh shit, yeah. I said, okay, kitna time hai mere paas? I said, let's just push it. And obviously getting pressure from the top heads, everyone. Okay, guys, we want the cast, Hotstar. Everyone was wanting the name for Kashyap. I said, Leena, push kar jitna. Edge tak, like last tak mana mat kar, like let me just meet him once. Then suddenly she messaged me, she called me and saying, he's ready to meet tomorrow. He's saying, come tomorrow, kal dopaher ko aa jao. I was like, done. I was like, we ran to your house. And then is history.
I said yes immediately after meeting all of these.
Yeah.
But generally...
But so for me to honestly, in imagination, I would never thought I would actually be working with you. I'll tell you my first... I clearly remember also, my first movie that I saw of yours was Paanch.
Oh, okay.
I had downloaded, and that time I was an assistant filmmaker, come from this. So I was that time, I guess, aspiring to make more films or something which was more meaningful the way you made your cinema. But I guess just my schooling was from the Bhatt camp, was so commercial somewhere, or it kind of came into me because it's like the school you go to and
absolutely.
It start teaching you something.
It started very early.
Yeah, so so that time I think so. Then so I remember starting to seeing Paanch. We downloaded Black Friday, even though it was banned. बहुत मुश्किल से everyone was passing DVDs or CDs that time. I remember seeing all that, and that time the media was not so big, but everyone had heard about you. There's a filmmaker called Anurag Kashyap who's against the tide and this and that whole thing. I clearly remember that phase because it was like a Bandra boy discussion happening with these intellectual, cool wannabe kids that we were. Okay, dude, have you seen his work? That kind of influence. But slowly, I think so unknowingly, I got drawn more to the commercial cinema, which, when I say commercial, I mean more entertaining cinema. I guess it happened because I started working with the Bhatts, with Tanuja,
the good thing about it is
Vikram,
very
Mahesh Bhatt.
unpretentious and unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
You know, because बहुत सारे लोगों का ऐसा होता है. For me, like if I had actually आशिक बनाया आपने जब देखी है ना, आप देखते हो ना, आपके दिमाग में एक perception होता है which totally changed when I met you.
Right. So that time,
totally changed.
So I'll tell you, Aashiq Bana Aapne, the pressure that how I made Aashiq Bana Aapne, I'll tell you the story behind it. I was 20 years old. I had quit my education. मैंने पढ़ाई छोड़ दी थी. बाप का प्रेशर था कि you've left your studies. अगर तूने 21 साल तक कुछ नहीं किया, you're going to come and do a 9-to-5 job in my office. And I said, I can do anything, but I can't do that. So I went helter-skelter and I said, मेरे को film बनाना था. So one producer came to me and said, I have 60,000 feet stock at AdLab stuck. तो 60,000 feet में picture बना देगा तो बना ले. मैं 60,000 feet है देखो देने के लिए. So I said, okay. I said, ठीक है मैं बना लेता हूँ. So उस time जो the story, I knew I was a little early to start a film because I don't think so I had polished my craft that well. But एक वो जो दबाव था कि अगर मैंने अभी film नहीं बनाई, ये लोग मेरे को office में बिठा देंगे और बोलेंगे leave this industry. So that, because of that pressure, I think so I jumped into it too early. This was my personal trying to analyze, okay, did I jump in too early or I should have worked a little more as different filmmaker. तो मैंने वो पूरी film 60,000 feet पे literally कैमरा के बाजू में Ari 2 होता था उस टाइम तो 3 ये सब तो आए भी नहीं थे. मैं clap भी नहीं देता था. The ADs were not allowed to give claps. I used to roll the camera and cut the camera on my own. And I finished that whole film within 60,000 feet
That's a feat. That's a feat.
Yeah, and gave it to, and it just the songs became it. And music भी हिमेश, how it happened was, he told me 60,000 feet better. हिमेश के पास ना मेरा एक एडवांस पड़ा हुआ है, तो उसको मेरे को 3 गाने देने ही हैं, तो आप म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर भी किसी और को नहीं ले सकते, इसी को ले सकते हो. Imran was just coming up. I went to Imran and me happened to know because of the Bhatt camp. I told Imran आपको एक बाहर का प्रोड्यूसर मिला है. उस टाइम इमरान को बाहर के प्रोड्यूसर साइन नहीं कर रहे थे because मुकेश जी was that exclusive लग रहा था and all. So I told him कि एक बाहर का प्रोड्यूसर मिला है, इतने पैसे एक फिल्म बना लेते हैं. So he also supported me. He said चल let's make it.
Imran is a good guy.
And then it just one thing led to another.
But you have not stopped growing. You know, the most amazing thing that, like I called you
right,
day before.
That was the best call of my life.
I called him before because, you know, like he said his journey started with, you said his journey started with Bhatt Sahab asking him to cut a trailer.
Correct.
And this is literally, he has personally sat on one of the best trailers that I have seen in a long time.
That was the biggest compliment for me, by the way. I don't know how the show is going to fare or what is going to fare. For me to get a call from you that day was like, it was the best thing ever. I'll tell you so one history that I have with you, which you would not, that the only time I had felt, no, yeah, one day I want him to appreciate my film was, I'll tell you this incident. I have never spoken to you about it. I'm speaking on the camera about all this. I had done Table Number 21.
I've seen this film.
You've seen the film?
Rajiv
Khandelwal called you and said, Anurag, can you go watch this film? You went and saw this film in Eros office. I remember this much also.
Okay.
Then Rajiv told you, Anurag, can you write something about this movie if you like it? And you told him, if I like the film, I'll write about it. And if you don't like the film, that's your policy, which everyone knows. If you don't like it, I'm not going to talk anything about it. And Rajiv called me and said he's not going to write. He didn't like the film that much. So I said, oh shit. I said, shit, Kashyap didn't like the movie. I was like, no, I didn't. And I said that to him. I said, okay, fair enough. I said, okay, good. And in my head, I still remember that day because I was like, yeah, will it ever be a day that I'll be a filmmaker or anything good enough? It's not a validation, but it is someone who you look up as a filmmaker too. Will he ever like anything that I've done? So that call that day, when you called me the other day, you have no idea. Because you had no idea about this, that particular day, which was in 2013, it just rounded up for me in a very big way. So that call of yours mattered a lot, and this gesture for upcoming filmmakers, I keep on telling myself, upcoming filmmakers, I still have to go far off.
I see you have, from your first film to now, your journey is quite,
Yeah.
you like, you know, what India, I really feel like, you know, that India में हम लोग एक्शन फिल्म नहीं बनाते ज़्यादा अच्छे. हम बहुत खराब एक्शन फिल्म बनाते हैं, उसको हम लोग एक्शन बोलते हैं.
Try correct.
But you design your actions, and you design them really well.
Thank you. So
And that I really believe in, because, you know, I've seen that. Or I'm seeing there's a constantly trying to do new things when it comes to action, and that genre.
Right, sir.
Like, one of my favorite action directors is the same guy who's made Fall Guy, Atomic Blonde,
Correct.
John Wick, everybody. It's like, and his action also marries with the story. And I'm seeing you evolving constantly.
Right, sir.
Because your evolution is not stopped, which is a great sign.
Thank you, sir.
Because, you know, starting early कभी भी हो सकता है ना. You started early, कहाँ से कहाँ. But that constant growth and that constant search for trying to tell a good story, which is the sign for me, a better filmmaker than somebody who in his head is already arrived.
Oh, thank you. Again, like
So for me, somebody who in his head is already arrived is more painful for me.
Fear is of getting dated as a filmmaker, I think so. Also,
Which is a good fear to have.
Yeah, कि यार ये तो मैं कर चुका हूँ पहले.
I have a massive fear of irrelevance.
Same.
Massive fear of irrelevance. Like sometimes when I made Almost Pyar, and the way I really poured myself into it, put not just like emotional self into it, also finances into it, because nobody believed in it.
Right.
And then it tanked.
Correct.
And then I had to literally, in the sense, I totally became bankrupt also.
Wow.
Right? But I'm totally proud of that film, because, you know, जो दिल से बनाते ना बनाते हो.
Correct.
But इतना self questioning चालू हो जाता है, because you feel like, am I trying too hard to reach young people? Am I becoming irrelevant? Have I lost my voice? What is it? And it's like after every film you get written off.
Yeah.
And people want the same old thing from you.
Same old thing.
And my thing is also, I don't want to do the same old thing.
Right.
I don't want to revisit Gangs of Wasseypur. I don't want to revisit Black Friday. I don't want to do another Gulal. I don't want to do another Ugly. I want to keep finding new. And the more I try to find new and it doesn't work, I start questioning myself. I feel like, am I becoming irrelevant? Or the world has like put me in a box and they want the same thing they've liked from me. So, you know,
It is.
it's a very difficult place to be in for a filmmaker.
It is.
It
I
is.
agree with you. I agree.
And मैं हमेशा वहाँ जाता हूँ. मैं हर फिल्म के बाद वहाँ चला जाता हूँ. Because हर फिल्म के बाद होता है लोगों को पिछली फिल्म से कंपेयर करते हैं जो अच्छी लगी थी.
Correct. The validation comes for most of us is from the box office success or the appreciation.
That I think is a very false measure.
I know.
Anyway,
but I'm saying that's the thing. It's a very
no,
different.
it's a very false measure,
but it's a very different. There are two sides of the table, right? You come from a place where obviously your craft has been appreciated time and again, and me, I've come from a place where I've kind of still trying to figure out if my craft will be appreciated.
No, but I see in you. I don't know if other people do that or not because मैंने अभी तुम्हारी फिल्म देखी जो वर्क नहीं की.
Correct.
And now seeing the elements in the series, what I am seeing in you is something else.
Right.
Because and which is why I made that call to
Correct,
you.
I
Because it is
know,
not
of
about.
course.
It's like you. Do you edit in your head?
Yeah, I didn't know.
So I also edit in my head.
Yeah.
So we all edit in our head while we are
Correct,
shooting.
while we're shooting.
But I'm seeing a seriously really good authentic action filmmaker in the making, which for me, I'm telling you, I'm saying this as a compliment.
Thank you.
Because you know what, made is done.
Done, correct.
But you're still in making.
Right, sir.
And I'm seeing that kind of a very good action filmmaker in making. No, I'll not say action, like action filmmaker in making.
Got it.
And I feel that that's your calling. I don't know, I feel like that's your calling. Because you know, those things I see,
Right.
you are such a good editor. You cut such good trailers, so impactful.
Yeah.
You have great pop culture references.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm saying those are things to hone very unapologetically.
Got it.
Those are the things I feel like, you know,
Right.
that you are honing and you're doing it better with each one.
Oh,
You're doing it better with each one.
that was it.
I'm saying from Commando
Got
to
it.
Crack to this one, you're doing better with each one.
Right.
And there's a marriage now that's coming together,
Right.
which I see more in Bad Cop,
Correct.
is of your honing the craft of an action director and the storyteller.
Right.
That coming together, that's the thing in making, which I feel like
Yeah, that's
your career actually for me starts now.
Right now, when I'm delivering all the episodes to the channel, and I just kind of just watch that 1 to 8 episodes every time I'm watching it again and again, and every time I'm seeing you on screen, I kid you not, for I go into like a 2-minute thing that I can't believe it's him who's actually acting and doing such a fab job, and the way you made forget me as a maker, but just everyone on set was always in awe of you, because all of these guys, be my AD team, be my art director, they always thought कि as a Kashyap sir will come and we'll get to learn something या कुछ बोलेंगे या कुछ करें, but you didn't do that. You didn't do that at
I
all.
think my perception
You
is very
came in.
wrong.
That's the thing. You came in. You gave your shot. You walked out, and everyone's like, "He's gone. He's done his job. He's done his bit." So everyone is surprised by, obviously, because of the notion that they have of you, and what they saw on set were completely a
But
360.
that I get a lot, but I am not, because I think there's a lot of perception that people have
Well,
created
from the
of me,
kind of
but
cinemas you've made, it happens.
I
So,
think because I'm not Raman Raghav. I'm not Sardar Khan of it. Yeah, but हाँ, I know, I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
But यहाँ पे in the sense मैं बताऊँ, because because I know I love directing.
right, of course.
I don't really acting. I don't have a problem with acting at all. My problem is what is it you do between two shots. You know, as a director, you're fully
Correct.
engaged.
Fully engaged, yeah.
As a director, you are engaged from the beginning of the shoot to the end of the shoot to after the shoot, at home, at night, sleeping, waking up. You are engaged. As an actor, you don't know what to do between two shots. You're just sitting and waiting and faffing. And like, you know, literally.
Yeah.
So for me, I really had like, because acting becomes a task for me.
Then,
It didn't feel like that. Playing Kasbe.
yeah, because
I'm saying, if I talk about my 3 or 4 good acting experiences,
correct.
no?
One was Kasbe.
This is one is Kasbe.
Oh, yeah.
One is Kasbe.
Nice.
Because, you know, where it didn't feel like a task.
Amazing.
Plus also there was constant entertainment in form of Gulshan Devai.
Black Friday was already made.
Paanch
Paanch
was
was
made. Paanch
made.
was made. Black Friday was made. Last Stand to Mahakali. Gulal was already started shooting, but lying incomplete.
Correct. Because
And I had 2 films scheduled.
And I'll tell you the reason how I saw, if I clearly remember, was Paanch was because Tejaswini was in it, right?
Teju was there.
Right, and she happened to be a very dear friend of my uncle,
Ah,
and that's how I saw the movie
okay.
because she was seeing it
Ah,
somewhere.
yeah,
and
Teju
they
was
all
there,
had
yes,
their,
yes.
I don't know,
But
some
Paanch had I think the most screenings or trials.
something like that, and
Most
I
screening
was
or trial.
taken for that, and I saw that film
Most
there.
screening or trial. But that was also very different me in this sense. I was very, like what he's saying is like, I was, after making Paanch and after making Paanch, I made because I was very angry with the industry.
Right,
So because
but anger in terms of what?
that's because I had worked on lots of things. Like, also it's a famous story of why I left Vishesh Films. Like
Wow.
Bhatt Saab will tell you. Industry, the way it was always revolving around कि star नहीं तो film नहीं बनेगी.
Film nahi bani, yeah.
So my reason to do Paanch was also very angsty. I said I'll take everybody who's a newcomer.
No.
Not just actors, even the crew.
Wow.
Even the crew will be a newcomer. Every first timer I'll make a film with.
Wow.
And I will tell them that you don't need these things to make a film. It was a very film coming from
Correct.
that place to show off.
Right.
To tell the industry that I have what it takes to make a film. You give me nothing, I'll make a film. So it was literally,
got it.
imagine, fortunately, I say, blessing, it didn't release. Because if had that film released, I think my anger would have turned into such massive arrogance, and I would have become such a nasty filmmaker
I got it.
because I got to prove my point.
Prove your point.
So that anger
Right.
drove me, of Paanch not releasing, drove me to make another film, yet another film, with nothing being given. I said, mean nothing. So I've learned filmmaking from not having anything. Except the camera.
Wow.
Right? So again, I wanted to prove that point again with Black Friday.
Black Friday.
And that also didn't release.
Was it Black Friday? You had a proper.
I had a proper
jump,
producer,
like,
but the thing is, film didn't release.
Release because of
I was, so in my first frustration was I was not getting to prove my point.
Right.
And then I sank. Then I sank in depression because in that 5 years, I saw a lot of people who made a hit film, went up, and I saw them fall down. It humbled me, seeing other people. Black Friday not releasing humbled me. My 2 films got shelved. So my anger with the industry was increasing, but the arrogance of the filmmaker was dying.
Right.
Anger was increasing because industry also starts talking like मनहूस है, इसकी picture release नहीं होती, इसकी picture खत्म नहीं होती. हाँ, so जहाँ भी जाऊँ, and then I was, that's why no smoking came from.
Oh.
Of like, you know, it was like world wanting me to
Quit
cigarette and sell my soul.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's literally like you're talking me to sell my soul, which is what the whole no smoking became, right? So I started writing blogs. And 2006, I started writing blogs. I literally was the guy who was talking about everything that's wrong with the industry.
Wow.
And I thought I did not understand the internet. I was venting and I did not understand the internet at all. I thought, मैं लिख रहा हूँ यहाँ privately, कौन देखेगा, कौन पढ़ेगा? It blew up. My blogs blew up. And people started picking it up and started coming to newspaper. Then suddenly I realized this is my channel to talk.
Okay.
And I started speaking so brazenly about the industry and everything that was wrong with the industry at that time. और कई चीजें गुस्से में भी लिखी. And I started, and a lot of people came together on that blog.
Wow.
That blog blew up, and that blog, I didn't know. By the end of it, we had Vasan Bala, Neeraj Gewan, Chaitanya Tamhane, Anand Gandhi. Everybody started coming on that, writing on that blog. I think a lot of us met through that blog. I met Gewan through that blog. I met Vasan through that blog. I met Karthik Krishnan through that blog. I met Somen Mishra through that blog. Everybody kind of came together because they had this passion for cinema.
Passion for cinema.
It was called passion for cinema. And that anger, suddenly when my film started releasing, I realized it's such a waste of time. That carrying that anger inside you is such a waste of time. Suddenly, like I was fighting an invisible enemy till my films were not releasing. Suddenly, there's nobody left to fight with. Suddenly everybody's supporting you.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you meet the people that
Correct.
you were writing about. I
Right.
didn't know any of those people.
Right.
I wrote so much against Karan Johar.
Correct.
Then I met him
Right.
and realized this guy is so straight.
Right.
He's like me at the other spectrum.
Correct.
But there's no difference between us. He's just like me, but on the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
So why am I like taking
Right.
it out on him?
Taking it out on him.
Why am I taking it out on anyone? And that also changed me a lot.
Okay.
And then I just simply started focusing on film banate.
Film banate hain.
Film banate. I went through that same phase, one similar phase again, like post when I left Twitter.
Right.
Again.
Again.
Like, imploded, fell sick. Again, then I got back with Kennedy saying that अपनी film बनाते हैं.
Correct.
So phase 2 बार है मेरी life.
Wow. Wow. So then the first clean release of yours
Was
was
Black
no
Friday.
No.
Clean release was No Smoking.
No smoking. And then Black Friday came later.
No,
then?
Black Friday came before No Smoking.
Before.
But same year, Black Friday, No Smoking and Return of Hanuman came.
हाँ.
So I was looking for any kind of a job. So
Correct.
literally it was like Black Friday दोनों ban हो गई थी and Vishal ji had made Omkara.
Right.
And he called me. He said that मैं अभी Omkara has worked. I can produce a film. Do you have a script? So I went
So
to
no
No
smoking.
Smoking.
Ah.
And No Smoking. And John Abraham called me because he had worked on Water.
Okay. Correct.
He had worked on Water and Deepa Mehta had told him things like you must work with Anurag.
Correct.
So he said you want to work with me and I was like, I was in such a desperate state. I had no money, I had nothing. I remember sitting in a rickshaw. I said, हाँ मैं अभी आ रहा हूँ मिलने. I literally said मैं अभी आ रहा हूँ मिलने. And on the way I started, No Smoking वाला story तो मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा था.
Correct.
Because it started paralleling my life.
Right.
So I was writing that. But मुझे ये film कौन करेगा? So in the rickshaw, I was going to meet John Abraham and John Abraham को सब लोग अच्छा actor नहीं बोलते थे.
Correct.
Correct. So I started thinking of a story in the rickshaw from where I left to John Abraham's house.
Wow.
And I started thinking of a story and I was so self-conscious about people, I had not seen any film of his.
Right.
But everybody used to say he's not a good actor.
With
The
Batsa,
person that I
Paanch,
met,
yeah.
the person that I met was amazing.
Amazing.
हाँ? So मैं दिमाग में स्टोरी लिख के जा रहा था एक बैड एक्टर के बारे में. This bad actor who's out of work and this and that करके. And I went and met John Abraham. I told him a story and John said, "Yeah, people already think I'm a bad actor. Why do you want me to do this film? This is कुछ और है क्या? Where I can perform." So then I told him No Smoking. And to my surprise, he took a punt on me.
Wow.
I said ये फिल्म करते हैं. तो मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है. मैं लिखी तो थी सब दिमाग में था. मैंने कहा लिखना बाकी है. So, and he helped me, I remember, because he gave me money.
Wow.
He says, go and write it. I took a flight. I said, and I didn't have my
Right,
marriage had
of
broken
course,
up. He gave me money. I took a flight. I went abroad.
Wow.
I wrote this
Wow.
and Return of Hanuman in US. Came back. Vishal came in at the same time. Said, I can produce a film. I took No Smoking to him. And the film about failed actor who's not made a career became Ugly in 2013. So I wrote Ugly in a rickshaw.
God. Oh
On my way to John Abraham's house, in my head.
Oh my God.
That became Ugly in 2000.
Wow. That's
13.
amazing. That's amazing. Amazing. Till 2000, sorry, I was just saying, Ugly, that scene is so epic. And
Improvise.
the one where, I guess everyone talks about that one scene only where he's in the police station and that guy is filing the complaint. And I guess everyone, whenever, at least for me, when I'm briefing any cop, Havaldar, or anyone saying, "Ke dude, make it little more natural," I give reference, "Arey, wo Ugly scene dekha hai kya? Uske jaisa karo na." And that's, again, there are so many things that you've done. And
I am so conscious of that
consciously,
scene. I was doing a police station scene with my recent film.
Right.
With Bobby, and I was like, I just hope it doesn't become like Ugly. So I had to do the total opposite turn.
To, yeah, I
I
get
had
it.
to do a total opposite turn, and with Bobby Deol we did a 12-minute take.
Wow.
Single take.
Amazing.
So the thing is, like, I had to do a total opposite
Total
turn. I
opposite,
said
so
it should
that
not remind
look
people
like-
of Ugly.
Wow.
So on movie, again, improvise.
Improvise. Yeah, but that happens. Yeah, that happens with every time.
No, but it's the things you always learn. I feel like, the day we stop learning, the day we think we have arrived, we are finished.
Yeah, we finished 100%.
We are finished.
I agree with
We
you.
are finished.
Means
So there's-
what failure teaches you, success can't, according to me.
Cannot. Success is the
And
worst
failure-
teachers,
and-
failure the best teachers.
And failure is the toughest time, but
Yeah,
it's
it's the
just,
best teacher.
It's the best teacher, but
The most
it
beautiful
really
teacher.
rips you apart, though.
No, but it is not. But I've seen a lot of my friends also who have
Right.
seen so much success, and then failure comes. They don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. It's very
throws
tough.
them off.
It's very tough.
It totally throws them off.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That totally throws them off. And they're unable to put
Yeah.
themselves together.
No, it is. But so luckily, I guess, you know, with so recently, like when Crack didn't do well at the box office, it didn't hit me that hard that what had hit me back in 2002, because I'd seen that failure phase for a long time. Before then, obviously, I'm not saying in my ratio of success, the Table 21, the show that I did for Sunny Leon, which was appreciated for Z5, Commando did well, and then obviously Crack came. So I thought when the numbers were coming, I was getting ready for this so-called subconscious belief of me going to go into depression. But I didn't actually go through it. But your mind was going on saying, I think she's going to feel the same thing what you had felt back in 2006, 7, whenever those flops had happened. But this time I think so I was more prepared, saying, okay, I know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm upset about it. I will bounce back. But I think so, yeah. But again, it kind of, again told me, dude, you really need to, again, up your game. Again. Like, again, it drove me to that.
But it's just very strange. I think for me, I'm so scared of success.
Right.
On the opposite side, when
yeah.
Devdi became a success,
Right.
I was so scared. I was like, I want to make the riskiest film of my life, and I made Yellow Boots. And Vasipur became a success. I made Ugly. Because everybody was confident Bombay will be a success.
Yeah.
So I made Ugly.
Wow.
And then when I went into Bombay and it bombed so badly,
Right.
I knew immediately I need to get out and make a very small film. Total opposite. Because Bombay's budget was hugely wrong.
Huge. I mean,
The budget was wrong.
I remember everyone
films
was,
don't fail, it's the budgets that fail. I started believing that.
Yeah.
I went back to my producer and I said, what's the amount of money you'll give me where you let me be me and not question me what film I'm making and who's in it?
Wow.
And the producer said, I'll not give you more than 3.5. I
And you
said,
were
okay,
like-
fine. And I went and made Raman Raghav.
Oh my God. Yeah, same.
That's what failure
Wow.
teaches you. Failure teaches is the best teacher. How do you get out of it? Because otherwise I would have sank into
The way
depression.
Crack's failures made me work on Bad Cop has been, it was another driving force right now.
But it has-
I went and reopened the edit. I said, listen, I want to cross-check everything again. I've gone through it, and like it's a fire. It's a fire under your ass. So the first day you came on set and you started discussing, I was obviously, there were too many things running in my head before you came on set. Was okay, will he hear me on the scene, or I think so that I'll read out the scene, then he'll say, "Ke main aise karu to," or do I do this angle? And you didn't do that. You came and just asked me. When I remember you coming and the first shot of you getting off the van, police ka van, coming, walking, he's like, "Itna hi karna hai," "Itna hi karna hai." Okay, and then you didn't ask me anything. You just told me, what is my stretch, just show me that. I said, okay.
Because,
So when you did that, that was the first time I said, so in my head, obviously, see, as a filmmaker, you are battling with too many things at that time. Also at the same time, this certain insecurity creeps in when you know that, okay, sir is such a big filmmaker who knows his job so well, can at any point come and tell me how to do my job. In a way, I'm saying that's just a back fear running in your head. But when you did that, I was like, he didn't question anything. He said, okay. I said, okay. And you were like, okay, next what? Next shot kya karna hai? I'm just saying, just don't you, I guess everyone must have asked you this, but don't you, like, yourself somehow say, ke, I don't think so, like, nahi, wahan se, isne camera, subconsciously, you don't
No, not even subconscious. What happens is, like, being a filmmaker, one thing that I know is, and I'm a very secure filmmaker that way, in the sense, like, I on my set.
Correct.
And I like my people to grow. I like my people to do their own thing also.
Right.
I don't try to control everything.
Correct.
But I know what is going on in the film, only I know.
Right.
As a director.
Correct.
I'm saying everybody is doing their best and everybody will give their best. But as a filmmaker, only you are seeing the whole film.
Right.
Everybody else is seeing the script.
True.
But only the director is seeing the whole film.
Right.
So I often deal with actors who will ask a lot of questions.
Right. We all do that.
And then I'm like, यार अभी मैं तुम्हारे question का answer तो दे दूँगा, but you know my problem is I don't want, and which is one of the reasons I don't share scripts with my actors.
Right.
I don't share scripts with my actors.
You're one lucky director.
I refuse to make a film if the actor
Correct.
मांगेगा script, so I refuse to make the film. But there is a reason, and in 2 days they buy into it.
Right.
Like I just made a film with a lot of known people.
Correct.
Everybody was like, why are you not giving the script? Why are you not giving the script? After 2 days, they stopped asking for it.
Right.
They realized the process. Because for me, what is most important is the truth in the moment. What I seek in actors is, you are in this moment. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Right.
So if I give you a full arc, so you will start giving away the arc. What happens is actors will start, they prep so much that they start thinking. You do that for theatre, you don't do it in cinema. Cinema, the audience is sitting right here, they're watching your eyes.
Right.
The truth has to be in the eyes.
Right.
So as an actor also, I know, what will I say? Because only you know. If I've said yes as an actor,
Correct.
only you know what you're making.
Right.
Right?
True.
So I don't want to ask questions, because when I'm the director, I don't like people. I would like, just go through the process.
Yeah.
And we'll come out of it. Something will come out of it.
Correct.
So for me, I also submit to the same thing. That's why I don't ask questions, because too much information often spoils performance.
True.
Too much information.
Yeah.
That's why I say need to know basis.
Nice.
I only give actors what they need to know.
Yeah.
And as an actor, I only asked what I needed to know. इस scene में, इस shot में क्या करना है? So because वो आया है, having been a bad actor on screen in the beginning of my career. Yeah, which is when I used to think I'm very good on stage.
Right.
And I really thought no end of myself as an actor.
Right.
On stage. Because we are young and we think like हर शो के बाद लोग ताली बजा रहे हैं, मैं तो कुछ कमा ली हूँ. और फिर फिल्म भी की और मैं बहुत ही खराब था. I could not stand watching myself on screen. And I was like, I'm not going to act anymore. I quit. I started doing other things.
Right.
And then I understood the medium. Like today I look back and I realize that was not my fault as an actor. That was my fault. That was the fault of the director.
Right.
The director limits you.
Got it.
The director limits you.
Got it.
So I'm saying, तुमको जब surrender करो, पूरा surrender करोगे, तो ठीक है. I'm saying you cannot. So मैं इसलिए बोलता हूँ, जब actor खराब होता है ना, एक्टर की गलती नहीं होती, डायरेक्टर की गलती होती है. अच्छा हो चाहे खराब हो, अच्छा हो खराब हो, और फिल्म भी डायरेक्टर की ही होती है.
Correct. I agree.
वही उसी को दिख रही होती
है.
तो I can't sit there and say मैं ऐसा क्यों कर रहा हूँ, क्या कर रहा हूँ. तुम मुझे बताओ क्या कर रहा हूँ, because I'm in this moment now.
Right. True.
And this is exactly for me is easiest directing directors. Coming to that, because I have directed Imtiaz Ali, I have directed Karan Johar, I have directed Tigmanshu Dhulia, and there's some other people also. It's easiest directing directors because they understand.
They understand, yeah. I guess
directors understand that the film director का medium है.
Correct.
So Tigmanshu will never ask any question.
Right.
The amount of question the other actors will ask.
Correct.
Karan never asked me any question. True. He understood what to do.
I agree.
I'm saying,
मालूम
है कि film कैसे बना.
Correct. I agree.
So that's directing directors is actually for me the easiest.
The way you put it, you're completely right. If tomorrow, if I ever am under a wing of another director, I would know, okay, he knows his. He wants something, let him do it.
You have to leave your director.
You have to leave it at home. Correct. I agree.
You have to leave your director.
I agree with you. I kind of now get it where you're coming from.
So that's why it's like for me, it's been a breeze directing actors.
Right.
Directing directors. So it's never, and that's why I understand, because मुझे मालूम है तेरे सेट पे तेरा सेट है, स्टोरी क्या है तू ही जानता है, और मेरे को जितना एक्स्ट्रा बताओगे ना, मेरा परफॉर्मेंस उतना खराब होगा.
Too many things.
That's why I always used to, even with Rehan, ऐसे मेरे को नेक्स्ट सीन मत बता. मुझे अभी का सीन बता. यही सीन बताओ मुझे क्या करना है.
I remember that.
So I do that also with my actors. I tell them only the scene that we are going to do.
Nice.
And I do it right there.
Nice.
So and that has something that I've understood over a period of time.
I saw that on set also, that every time, even when you would, I guess, take your scenes right before the scene. Before the shoot.
Always take that. I also do the same thing what I practice with other actors. Right. Because the truth of the actor in that moment.
Correct.
Is something that I believe in as a director.
I saw that happening.
I'm saying, I'm so happy to be part of Bad Cop.
No.
I'm so happy to be on board and this non-stop entertainment called Gulshan Devaiya, who sings the most obscure songs from the world. मतलब हर गाने के बाद सोचना पड़ता है किस फिल्म का गाना है, इसको ये कैसे पता है. And working with such a good cast.
Him singing every time has been throwing the other actors off completely. The other ones, I'm talking about
It get me irritating also.
irritating also. No, मतलब कि वो बोल रहे कि हम लोग focus कर रहे, trying to get our emotion, and this guy is going on singing. Dude, I can't focus on my lines, and they are forgetting their lines, and their retakes are happening. So it can be irritating. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
so
it
much
is.
fun, and it has been so much fun working on this show with you and what is coming out of it. And because my phone has not stopped ringing since the trailer dropped.
Oh, I'm so happy that.
No, I'm not happy. Because everybody wants me to act and I don't want to act. So everybody is only wanting me to act. Now I'm like, sorry, I'm not available as an actor. I want to go and direct. So thanks, but no thanks to you. That
No, so we
my
got to
phone
do.
is constantly
I'm
ringing.
hoping there'll be a season 2. We have to take Kasbe.
Kasbe is fine. Kasbe season 2 में लेकिन Kasbe तब तक पतला हो जाएगा. So when you think of season 2, make sure Kasbe is coming out of some kind of a weight loss
Hiding.
program.
Since I'm hiding, okay, fine, fair enough. No, but yeah, we'll make it happen. It was a pleasure, sir. Thanks for just being there. That's it.
Thank you so much. I've had so much fun.
You're,
I've had so much
like
fun.
I said, my biggest achievement for me has been your call on the trailer, the action, and everything.
And this is the first time out of all the films that I've done, in which I've done action,
Right, sir.
first time I was not injured on the set.
It's great. That's another.
First time I was not injured doing action.
But from the action that you've shot always,
Yeah. I've been hospitalized twice in my Tamil film, in Mike Canonical. I ruptured my shoulder in
Ore
Maharaja.
baap
I broke my rib in Akira.
oh shit.
So I was not injured in this one.
Okay, no, yeah, all safe here. And let's see, let's hope. I hope the show
I hope the show
does
comes
well
out.
and comes out well, and people like it and come
I
forward.
hope so. Fingers crossed for that. Thank you.
Make a noise.
Thank you.